Good morning, Dario here with Optional Enterprises. It is 8:30 in the morning, August 11th, 2019, and we're going to go over my watch list here. So again, this week I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to limit it to about 10 of my highest conviction stocks off my watch list. So if you see over here, my watch list is actually fairly long. And it's not my only watch list. I've got a weekly, a monthly, and then I have also got my breakout trades. So what I've done is I've gone through those and I've found the 10 highest conviction trades that are going to work out this week. So, and that's how I'm going to keep it from this time forward. My old watch lists, they were about 45 minutes to an hour to go over all of them. And I was reviewing my view times, and nobody actually watches the full watch list, so I'm going to keep it short. But I'll be posting other posts in my Instagram for some of the other tickers in my watch list as they develop. So first one we've got here is going to be NBEV, New Age Beverages. And you can see here on New Age Beverages that we found a fairly strong support level here at 326. And we wanted to stay there, reestablish this trend. And we are looking for this thing to get to around $4 this week, which is only 40 cents, but that's half of your delta. So of a 50-cent delta, that's about 25 cents. 25 cents will give you, well, that's actually, you're at the money, that's more about 30 cents. So that's a 1-to-1 reward. Not fantastic, but you put 20 cents in, you'll make 30 cents if you get that full move. So that's pretty much it there. NBEV, we're looking forward to get above that 10 EMA, get above this, and then maybe an entry around 366 with your stop being the high closing price of this green candle. So stop yourself out maybe around this 359, 58 area if you're conservative. So next one is going to be Zendesk. So Zendesk was triggered for a pretty strong reversal. Now this does not look like an appealing setup for anyone. However, these are the type of plays that I look for, and I'm looking for it to hold that 77.30 area. If we can get to that 77.30 area, then I'd be looking forward to come back up to this 79.74. Again, though, this is a very subjective trade, but it was triggered for a strong reversal, and all of our other technicals are in line, meaning volatilities but again, we're not on any strong support levels here. You can see that this kinda is right here, might be considered a strong support area, but we're still looking for confirmation. We want to see this hit that 77.30, and if we can actually make that price target, that's about $1.50 or $2.50, which is a great reward for this one. You see, you got if you want to buy yourself some time, you'd probably return maybe like 70 to 80% if the move actually happens. But wait for price confirmation. We want to see that work out before we actually start getting into that one. Now, with oil prices moving up, I am expecting gas to follow. You can see that we are starting to set up fairly well. Let's just bring this out to UNG is going to be the ticker symbol that I want to play. But of course, you always use the actual futures to track UNG. And we can see we've got a fairly nice setup here. We're bouncing off this 10 EMA. But we've got some very nice volume right here. Also sort of establishing ourselves a little bit of a trend. So we want to see it at least hold this trend here, since there's really no ways to establish support or resistance right now. I guess resistance would actually technically be this upper candle here, 217. But this week I'm looking for gas to get to around 223. And UNG options are not expensive, and they're not expensive to hold, so you can afford to buy yourself a little bit of time. Give yourself maybe a couple weeks if it so suits you. 2 cents. The spreads are really wide, but when the market actually starts buying and selling, these spreads tighten up a little bit, and you can get in usually below the market price. And these options are not hard to get 100% returns on. They move that well. Just back here, I think it was this day here, I bought at the close and I sold maybe an hour into the open for 100% return. It's actually 158%. So those are the type of moves that you want to get. You can see that the closing price was around 1810. The opening price was 1821. I sold somewhere around the top, around the 1850s. So for a 60-cent move, I was up 100% on my options. I bought an out of the money close term, so I think I had bought my options for 6 cents, and I ended up selling out for around 12. So it wasn't a bad move. I'm sorry, and that's what we're looking for UNG. So UNG, my price target for UNG is around 1923 this week, which is about a 60-cent move. And a 60-cent move, depending where you want to play your options. I will be playing close term. That's just because that's the way I'll be working, because I expect this move to happen this week. I'm pretty confident about it. So I'll be looking maybe around the 19s for some entries. You can see we've got some pretty large open interest there. What we're going to be looking for, though, is we want to see some puts, some adding of the puts. You see I've got my open interest indicator right here, and the green and reds, and that basically just shows me how many were added, how many were subtracted through the day. So I'll be paying close attention to the natural gas options, and I'll be using those to gauge whether or not that position is good. You see, we've already got some very favorable. This is from last Friday, and you see a lot of people lightening up on the puts, adding calls, and that's in your near term. So that's kind of what we're looking for. That's a good indicator that natural gas is looking for a moderate rise this week. Again, these options, you do not need a lot of movement. So that's my play with natural gas. Under Armour, we are not at any established support. So we're looking actually for this to come back down to 1911. I don't know that it'll actually get there. But that'll be my first indication that this will be a good buy. This is triggered for a strong reversal. The reversal hasn't quite triggered yet, but it's right there. So that's why I'm saying look for the 1911s, and then 2091 is going to be your upper buying target. But if this can catch a bid, then we might actually just be heading for that 2091. Again, if you do decide to get in right away, I'd keep my stop below, the lower wick of this candle, so 20. Give yourself about 20 cents of room. But again, I'd be looking for a confirmed buying action on this one before I actually decide to enter. As always, let price action dictate whether or not you're going to be getting in. So shop. This was my best pick from last week. I had a 312 target. 312 was hit on Monday and confirmed this buying zone here on this trend line. That's 1, 2, 3. It's a confirmed trend line now, and we just shot off from there. Broke out. Our buying zone was actually triggered right here at around 349, so that was about a 30-point move that you got, but a lot of other riskier players probably might have been buying in here, I, however, would not have been buying here. I waited for this. Again, though, we're looking for a pullback to 358.25 on Shopify. So that's essentially just what we're looking for this week. Basically, just a small retracement, and that's a decent move. You know, where it's about $10. $10 on Shopify will easily yield you a great return. So again, keep an eye on your open interest. Open interest on Shopify has been an excellent indicator of moves. So just make sure you watch, keep track of that. Next thing we've got is Amazon. Amazon was, I called this one out in my Instagram. I think it might have been Tuesday. I triggered it for a strong reversal. I know that seems obvious because of this huge decline. Of course, a reversal is bound to happen. Shorts, covering, and so on. But we've also established a trend here. So we basically just want to see this hold this trend. Also, this 618 on the fib levels for a rally, possibly up to the 851 or 853.90s, but more realistically, looking for maybe around 833s. But if we cannot hold this short-term rally, which is also a bear flag, then I'd be looking for this move back down. And for a move back down, possibly just be checking out the 1749s or the 200 EMA first. 200 EMA seems better, so 1794, which is only about $10, but $10 on Amazon will still give you some decent returns. You know, Amazon does not have to move a lot for you to get a decent return. So next on the list we have Twitter, TWTR. Got some bigger names on the list this week, and that's just because they actually came across my scanner, which is fairly rare since these larger names have a different set of parameters that I do not adjust my scan to find. So Twitter is fairly straightforward. We were looking for it to hold its support at 40.80 for a rise back up to 43.65. So that's about a $2 move. Not huge money, but again, I don't look for huge moves. Again, Twitter, not that expensive to get into, a little more expensive to hold. 5 cents, you know, it's higher end. Don't really like anything more than that. But I expect this move to happen this week, so I'd be looking at some near-term options. But again, if you're conservative and you don't mind a smaller return for capital spent, then you could go out a little further. 40 days would be a safe bet. Again, your stop is going to be at this 40.80. If it can't hold that 40.80, then I'd be looking to get out. But I'd be looking to buy at the 40.80 if it can hold there. And if you actually buy at this 40.80, then maybe look down here around the 40.10. That's about 70 cents. You lose about $1, which is not that bad of a loss. But anyways, Twitter looking for some calls this week. So First Solar, FSLR. This one was a pick from last week. Thought it looked good for that pop up to 69.34. That did not happen. We got a swift sell-off. And it looks like it has reestablished support on this longer term trend line here. So that's good news. We want it to stay there. I got a first price target of $65.52 for this one. So that's about $2. And then if it can break up and hold there, then $69.72. First Solar options are not too expensive, but again, the theta is a little higher, definitely over that 1 or 2 cents that we like. But, keep your stops tight, and I think this one is good for that move up. State Street. Now this one I took off my monthly reversal, and this one finally is set up for that rise up. We're looking for 56.06 this week on State Street, and I think this one has a very good chance of getting there, holding there, and then making our next price target of 57.82. AMT, this one is a short. A lot of institutions in this one though, so it's not going to happen quick. It's going to be kind of like the Dollar General trade that I called out a while ago. But once it gets moving, it's going to move in the right way. Right now we're looking for a break of the 218.79s for a fall back to 215.04. Keep in mind we have some strong buying pressure here, but it is decreasing, so that's good news for us. After a break of this new high, I expect at least a pullback to the 218.79. We want to see it break there, fall back down, confirm this trend line, which only has 2 points right now, and 215.04 will be the target if it breaks 218.79. Okay, so that does it for my reversal trades. Now we're going to move into my breakout trades. This one is ADP. This one you can see is in a solid uptrend, so no quarrels there. That's what we like to see. And I've got a 172 target on this one, so that is about $5. But you want to be careful with this one. You want to stop yourself out pretty quick. So I want to say 166 to be your stop level. I'd actually wait for a pullback to the 166 for an entry, and then have your stop out be the highs of these candles around 164.50. So you're risking $1.50 to make $5. Not a bad little move there. Again, everything's in line, everything looks right, volatility is correct. We are in an uptrend. This one looks good for a squeeze higher, but again, it's gonna depend on the market being bullish. We need some buyers in the market for this one to work out for us. Next one is INTI. This is another breakout trade, and our target for this one is going to be 85.54, so it's about $4. And this one's setting up beautifully. Got a beautiful hammer candle right there at the bottom of a downtrend. We're consolidating underneath these 10 EMAs. We're looking for that squeeze to get us up there. So I'd make my stop for this one the low end of this candle here. So maybe stop yourself out around 80.64 if you're entering from the get-go. I might actually wait a day to see what this does, how price action develops. This one might just take off from the get-go though, because this one is primed and ready. So again, price target up here around the 85.52s area. So you're looking for about $4 on INTI. INTI, a little more expensive to hold, but theta for 40 days is only around 5 cents, so it's right up there with that upper limit. But if you get that $4 move, it'll more than pay for itself. $4 move, it's about $2 for your return on delta, so you'd be about an 80% return. Not 100% winner, but still a good trade. And just a couple off my monthly to keep an eye on. AYX I like for the pullback. We want to see it break that 129 for a breakdown to 122.52. See, we've got a nice shooting star here. This is sort of a double top. And we're also looking for it to confirm this trend, which has really only 2 points. It really has 3, but these 2 right here I just count as 1 because they happen within a day of each other. So that is off the monthly watch lists. I'm not going to go into too many of these. Now, Kraft Heinz, I know, has got some horrible news around it. Horrible. But when we're looking at gap downs like this, moderate rises up are not uncommon. So we're sitting around 26.50 right now. I'd be looking to get maybe about $1 out of this one. Kraft Heinz options right now are fairly cheap, and You can see our current implied volatility percentile is only around the 42%, so we're below our mean, which means we could still come back. The volatility could come up, which means this thing could sell off a little more. But I'd be looking for that, for a little bit of a bottoming formation for this one, for a nice little rise up. So watch out for that. And then plan. And a plan. This one I do like for a pullback to 49.29. This is on the monthly reversal, and I'm sorry, this one is a weekly reversal. The daily we can see played out, and we could not break above this level here. We also could not get up to the 60.36, which tells me that the weekly is in play. So we're looking for it to respect this trend line for a pullback to 49.29. Alright guys, that does it for me for my watch list this week. Again, in my Instagram, I will be calling out my additional plays. You can see my watch list is actually much longer, but I know people, it's a Sunday, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time, certainly not like me. This is pretty much all I do. I look at charts and plan for my week. I know most of you have lives and want to go live them, so I tried to make this watch list short for you. I hope it helps you, and thank you for watching.